Food is your fuel. Now, this part of this video, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of recorded at home, and then my camera decided not to record the audio, but it's all right. Now, we are actually currently in New York. We're not in Massachusetts right now. We're just currently here just for Memorial Day, just to be here with the family, enjoy the next few days. But in doing so, I still want to give you guys this first out of this video, which was cut off, which was creating a breakfast, and I was making it and explaining the macros, explaining, the importance of protein, the importance of food, which I'm going to do here. But instead of just, doing a voiceover, I'm just going to redo it. And then from there, I'll just give my full fresh perspective, while also sharing clips of that breakfast as well, too. Because it was fairly delicious. Right now, I'm actually going to be eating up some of my meal prep food that I brought with me. I had about 6 meals left, and they're not going to waste. I'm eating all them bad boys, all right? But yeah, let's get into it. All right, as this food preps up, the reason why I'm so adamant about breakfast and why I always say, if you're gonna have one meal, or if you're gonna skip one meal, make sure it's not breakfast. Just because it is that main thing, that's gonna give you your main source of energy for the day. Because a lot of people, what they do is they're 5 coffees deep by the time it's 12, and that affects their ability to function in the afternoon. You may not see it that way, but it does. Other people see it. Other people will tell you, bro, that's your 5th coffee. Are you good? You'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. You're not. You're tired. You're sluggish. And you have no energy to do anything else once you get home. So don't even think about the gym. So that's why food is important. Because food is not just important in terms of weight loss. And I think that's where we kind of lose the importance of why food is even I don't mean to, conjugate myself here, but important. important 3 times in one sentence. Like, what the fuck? But to run that back, and you guys know me. I keep it real. I never cut anything. Unless it's, yeah. Let's go. But like I was saying, it's that if you don't have energy in the morning, you don't have energy for lunch, you don't have energy for dinner, what makes you think you're going to be in a position to lose any sort of weight? And you may tell yourself, oh, I'm not eating because I want to lose weight, I want to be in a deficit. There is such a thing as too deep in a deficit, which a lot of people put themselves in. That's why a lot of people, when they go too deep in the deficit, they think they're going to lose weight. They do lose a few pounds, but then it goes stagnant. Because your body in a position to where it's like, bro, you're only giving me about 800 calories. You fucking think I'm burning any more calories with this shit? I'm keeping all this food and holding on to it. Because I need energy. I need reserves. And when you're in a too deep of a, let's say, deficit, your reserves are completely down to 0. So that's one. You got to ensure that your reserves are always up. And the only way you could do that is by making sure that you get your breakfast in, you get your lunch in, and you get your dinner in. Get your food in. And if you can't do it while at home, find a better option on the go. And another reason why food is fuel and why, for me, it's so important, it's now when we do go into the gym. If we want to push our limits, we want to perform, how do we expect to do that without necessarily eating? How do we expect to do that by saying, oh, I just only had 1 meal today? You're not just going to come in and be the Hulk by 1 meal a day. It's going to take a lot more calories for you to be able to perform at your best. So if performance is one of your goals, if, losing weight is one of your goals, you need food. One thing I, said in my last video, I'll reiterate this again. It's that I could probably put you on 500 calories more of food and you'll probably lose weight. And the reason why I say that, it's a lot of times when I work with people, they are overestimating their deficit by a lot. Usually people are like, oh, I'm at 1,200. 1,500 is good, right? When they're, let's say the BMR, which is basically the amount of energy they burn on a daily basis, is at 2,500. Bro, you're in a 1,000 calorie deficit. You don't need that. No wonder you feel tired. No wonder you feel sluggish. But like I was saying before, you need those initial sources of energy to perform. Like, I'm going to need this food to be able to go to the gym and hit chest and actually be able to do it. Most importantly, perform and do it to my best of my abilities. So remember, as I was cooking this breakfast, as you guys saw, I was making some eggs, some turkey bacon, some bread here and there, just keeping it simple. And that's how it should be for breakfast, simple. And as you will see right now for lunch, it's my meal prep that I meal prep a few days ago. I know you guys will probably be seeing this video a few days out. So maybe oh, this was in the fridge for a week or two. It wasn't, only about 4 days. But it's right here. Look at that, man. That's a meal prep. chicken Alfredo with spinach. And I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of that. You would eat that. Shit, you would buy that. So, make sure that you fuel yourself. I'm about to get ready to hit this gym, hit this chest day, and I'll catch you soon. Alright, so while going to the gym, my camera died. So what I'm gonna basically do is show you these clips of me working out, the few sets I was able to record, and then basically give you an overview of what I focus on while in the gym. Because I feel like one of the biggest things is, it's especially what differs people from getting results to not getting results. A lot of it sometimes comes to what you're actually doing in the gym. Because showing up sometimes is just not enough. Because there's so many people that have been showing up to the gym for years and years, and let's be honest, they haven't gotten results. So first things first, the biggest thing I always say that when you're going to the gym, you have to seek something that's going to push your limits. And what I mean by that is, look at the dumbbell, flat bench press, for instance. One thing I've always had, it's like a goal of being able to rep 120 for a certain amount of reps. Now I'm able to do 120 for 6 reps, 130 for 5 to 6 reps, on a really good day. But over time, I feel like I've slowed down from it, right? So I want to get back into it and really push my limits, so therefore I can exceed what I was able to do in the past, moving forward. So the biggest thing is, I always have a challenge for squats. I love to squat. I love to take 315 and just go for as many reps as I can. For me, my challenge is not to go for the most weights, to go for the most reps. And I like that. And I'm able to do heavy weight for high reps, and I find it comfortable. Most importantly, I find it fun because I get to push my limits when it's hard, when it's difficult. I can either tell myself no, or I can tell myself, do it again. You got this. For example, like this set right here. I get angry at myself because I know what I can do. And once I don't bring that energy, I don't bring that feel, I get myself into that by saying, bro, what are you doing? Wake the fuck up. And it's not me having an ego or being like, I'm this big guy. No, it's just me pushing myself in the gym. And sometimes I think that's another thing. It's you guys perceive other people that are like going, or as, oh, he has an ego. But that's just a man that's just pushing himself to his absolute limit, while you're sitting there criticizing him being literally at the bottom of your limit, not even touching it, not even taking a crack in it. So instead of judging, go and push yourself, and I promise you, you'll find yourself going, oh, what the fuck was that? Out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere, and then it becomes who you are. But biggest thing is, 1, have something that pushes your limit in the gym. 2, really do focus on the form. Really do focus on the technique. Really do focus on the muscle that you're targeting specifically. For me, there's no rush. It's about full range of motion, pushing it through, and making sure I'm maximizing every little rep, every set, at every portion, at every angle. And that's by taking my time. So if you do that while working out, you're good to go. But now we're home, and it's time to have a protein shake. And I don't usually have my protein shake right after. I usually have my protein shake probably about 30 minutes after my workout. And the reason is I just don't like eating after my workout or drinking anything after my workout. At least 30 minutes. You don't have to. It's not a recommendation. It's just what I prefer. But one main thing with protein, and I feel like a lot of you really focus on, is eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I actually think you should not focus on that. And the reason why I say that, and it might piss some people off, is the average American is eating less than 100 grams of protein a day. Telling somebody to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is telling them to eat 150 grams of protein because your goal is to be 150 pounds. So if I'm not used to eating over 100 grams of protein, how do you expect me to eat 150 grams? Just magically? So I think the goal should be, 1, put yourself in a position to where you're eating more protein than you normally would. So instead of eating 150 grams like somebody said, start with 75 and then go to 100 and go to 125. Because as you work out, your appetite will grow. And what I mean by that is when you start building more muscle, the more energy your body's gonna demand from you. And what I mean by energy, I mean food, and that's what I was saying earlier, how energy is food. Because the more muscle you have, the more you're gonna have to eat. A lot of people don't tell you that. The more you grow, the more you're gonna have to eat. The more toned you look, the more you're gonna have to eat. You could literally drop 20 pounds, eat 500 calories more, and look way better than ever before. So that's why I always tell people, like, don't be so on about it with food and just focus on the little basics of getting that protein and getting healthy carbs and getting those veggies in. And over time, it will compound and your weight will naturally select where it needs to be. And last but not least, you're just gonna get stronger, leaner, and better looking. So like I was saying before, eat more than you normally would, build it up, and then over time, you can say, you know what? I'm at 150, I slowly built my way up here. Now I wanna grow to 200 pounds. Let's go. Now we increase protein. Now you might have to force eat yourself a little bit. Because I always tell people, weight loss, once you've cracked it, you realize that's actually the easiest. Because it was just about convincing yourself to continue down the path that you know you should have continued down. But again, the biggest thing with protein is just making sure that, you know, you're having at least 15 grams per meal. Get yourself over that 75 count. And once you're over that 75 count, progressively increase it to 100. And then over time, you will find yourself at the protein intake that you need to be. But don't just jump the gun to it, because your appetite, your body's not used to it. So don't expect yourself to just naturally be at 150 grams of protein. And then when you can't eat it, beat yourself down for, why I'm not there yet. You're not there yet because you've never been there. So slow it down. You know me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep this shit real. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I ain't never gonna lie to you. I'm never gonna tell you, yeah, we need to start with 200 grams of protein, 3,000 calories in order to get you there when you've been eating 1,800 calories for the past damn near 8 months. You expect your metabolism to be able to handle, you gonna find yourself sick in a hospital. You have to give your body time to adapt. You have to give your metabolism time to adapt. That's why I tell you in my videos, stop looking for the quick fixes, because it doesn't give you time to adapt and make this thing that you're trying to become stick for the rest of your life. You have to give it time. You have to do it slowly. You may not like it, but I promise you it's the best way to do it. I hope none of my neighbors saw that, because that was fucking weird. And my voice just cracked. So you know I'm embarrassed. I love it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit of cooking, a little bit of workouts. I want to bring more of this, you know, more of me talking as well too. Just give you different styles. My goal is to give you 3 different styles, give you home workouts here and there, give you because the home workouts, I do that for you guys, you know. I do that specifically for you guys, so you guys can have some things to do while you're at home. Because I know some of you can't get in the gym. And the nutritional facts, the cooking, that's always gonna be coming. And then I'm gonna give you some other type of videos as well too that I haven't made in a while that I need to start making again, because you guys like them, I could tell. But numbers don't lie, you know? But with that being said, hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, and I'll catch you next time.